Hi guys, Jen here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a July reading for Gemini. So let's just dive right in and see what we have for Gemini for the month of July. And just, take it as it resonates. Never give your power away to tarot. And also keep in mind that some of these messages may not resonate at the moment. I know from my own experience that when I listen to other tarot readers, they never resonate at the moment, but then they come into fruition maybe like a week later. I've seen like a common thing has been like a week later. So it's mostly like what to prepare for. Or it could apply to your current situation with the current energy. So, and also because you can't assume that every Gemini or zodiac sign is going through the same thing. Sometimes it's just like certain pieces. I know in my experience, based on my situation, certain things resonate and certain things don't. Like say single and non-single, married, so take the pieces that resonate, even if it's just like one specific thing. If all of it resonates, that's great. But if it's just one key thing just to keep in mind, then take that, or come back and just let me know if it did resonate, so let's go ahead and dive in. This one wants to come out first. So off the back, with the past energies that do still influence the current energies, off the back you have the Six of Swords. So let's see for current energies for Gemini. Then you have the Nine of Swords. Don't get scared off of that. I know the Nine of Swords is a scary card, but it's mostly in the mind. It's never anything like happening externally. It's more internal conflict. So these are like thoughts that keep you up at night, things of that nature, because the swords rules the mind, right? And sometimes, if something's going on in your life, these things can really kind of weigh on you. And then you have the Hanged Man. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the clarifier for the Six of Swords. You have the Ace of Swords. So far, you have one major arcana and you have a lot of swords energy here. So, and the crazy part is, well, not crazy, but, swords is air energy, so it's Gemini energy. You guys are always in your head, always in your mind, trying to figure out things. So this is definitely, this spread so far is definitely ruling that air energy. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles. Clarifying that Nine of Swords, clarifying the Hangman. You have the Three of Swords. Yeah, lots of swords energy, lots of air energy. Okay, I see one pentacle here with earth energy, and then you have the major arcana here with the Hangman. So off the back, I'm definitely getting, Gemini, that for some of you, you probably had to speak your truth with this Ace of Swords clarifying the Six of Swords, that led to kind of you having to move away. So moving away towards more calmer waters after some choppy energy, after. And I see here that it could have been, if it's not mental conflict with another person, even though I do see a Court card here, but I am getting with the distant past that this was you speaking your truth. This was you kind of, coming out with that sword, that Ace of Swords, that communication, very just cutting, just coming in. I'm also getting intuitively that this was something that you were holding in for a very long time, that was weighing on you, and some of you could have thought it through and then just presented it, some form of communication where it was just really weighing on you, and you had the confidence, because Ace of Swords is communication, and it's like that sword, it's coming in, swinging. So I think for some of you, you might have had to give a very bittersweet truth For some of you, it could be that you had to walk away from a situation, whether that be romantic, family, friends, work, whatever it may be. And it was kind of painful for you, you know. The light went out. Give me a second. It was kind of painful for you. And but you had to speak your truth, you know. You had to speak your truth, and you had to come clean with how you were feeling, you know, if this is towards a person. And, you know, it was you coming clean and kind of also moving away. I think for some of you, and I feel for some of you, this could have even been closure, because I'm getting almost like this was something that you didn't really want to say or had to say, but it's like, I have to speak my truth. I have to say what I have to say, and then I have to walk away from this because it's not serving me. It could have been a toxic environment. Again, take it as it resonates. And this happened in the distant past, but these are things that are still weighing on us. You know, it's like the residual. In the current energy, again, with the Nine of Swords, you know, whatever this communication was, it could still be keeping you up at night. I'm getting intuitively that some of you are still going back to that conversation, and it's playing in your head on things you could have said differently, things you could have done differently. Did I make the right decision? With the Knight of Pentacles here, now this could have to do with work, but when I see the Knight of Pentacles, intuitively and almost instinctively, I think slow and steady, because if he goes any faster than what he already is, he's going to drop his pentacle. So I think for some of you, it's like, I'm getting to slow the noise in your mind down, slow down that heavy traffic in your mind. Not to say not to think about it so much, but when I see the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, you're going towards, you're moving in a different position, but it's going to take time. Okay. It's going to take time, but it's also going to pay out as well. Okay. With the Knight of Pentacles, now this can also be a person for some of you, earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, that, you know, you had to say this, you had to have this uncomfortable conversation with. It could also even have to do with work, but generally speaking, you know, this Nine of Swords to the Knight of Pentacles is letting me know to take your time, take it slow. You know, I'm getting like a lot of chatter in your brain, a lot of chatter, a lot of thoughts it's keeping you up. It's like, you know, you made the right decision, but your mind keeps replaying it. And the Knight of Pentacles is saying, slow it down, because where you're headed, you don't want to take that extra mental baggage with you. You want to have a clear mind. And in order to do that, you have to kind of slow down. You kind of have to cherish what you have right now in order to move forward. And the only way to do that is to take a slower approach. So if you're healing from something, if you had to have an uncomfortable conversation, you know, with someone regarding something or whatever the case may be, and it's still bothering you, Knight of Pentacles is telling you, don't worry, you're in the right direction, but you just have to slow it down. It's day by day. Take it day by day. Now, for the outcome, one of the possible outcomes, because again, you have the power to shift and change your future and manifest anything you want. You know, this is just one possible outcome. It can be a message for a specific person, specific group. But what the Hangman tells me to the Three of Swords is that, again, this was very painful for you, but you have to surrender. The Hangman teaches us to surrender to things that we can't control. Okay. It's like you did what you had to do. It is causing mental conflict, but now you have to release. You know, this was very painful. This was very painful, and it might still sting, but the Hangman, again, it's like whatever you can't control, you have to let go. And definitely the Hangman is saying you have to surrender. Sleep on it. Take as much time as you need. Rest on it. Don't dwell on it. You know, just kind of just be, without the mental conflict. And again, like I said, I know this is going to be very painful, but at this time, having the Hangman to support you is definitely letting you know that you just have to take it day by day and just surrender. You know, it's probably a situation that, number one, you can't control. Number two, you did all that you can do. So at this point, you just have to let it play out and let the universe work in your favor, okay? Let's get some clarifiers here. Let me get a clarifier with the Six of Swords to the Ace of Swords. Spirit, clarifier for the Six of Swords to the Ace of Swords. But yeah, lots of thinking, communication here. You know, lots of swords energy. I don't see any hearts. I'm sorry, water energy. When I think of water, I think of like heart, emotion. I don't see much of that. So you are very head over heart right now. I am getting that. You're very, it's almost like you're thinking critically. You're not really using too much emotion. This is something that you have thought out, and it's very mind over heart. Now, to clarify that Six of Swords to the Ace of Swords, Gemini, you have the Eight of Swords. So this is something that you needed to face. For some of you, this is something that you may not even want it to believe yourself. You know, this is something, when I see the Eight of Swords, it's almost like running away or feeling like you have nowhere to go. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling like I have no options. It's also self-bondage. Okay, and this is coming out in the recent past. So for some of you, you could have felt like you had no way out. But with that Six of Swords and Ace of Swords, it's letting me know that you did find your way out. But at some point, you did feel kind of trapped, whether it be your own mental, you know, feeling like mentally you're trapped, or even physically, because the crows here are like, they have her in bondage. So you felt like you had no way out. Like, I have no way to go. But when you reflect on that and introspection, you realize, wait a minute, I do have a way out. And I think for some of you, you figured out that, you know what, the best approach to this is to walk away. And I think with that Ace of Swords, that gave you that boost of confidence that you needed. Nine of Swords to the Knight of Pentacles. Here you go again with the Ace of Swords. You have the Ace of Swords twice, so that's double confirmation. You had to do what you needed to do, and whatever needed to hear this coming out of your mouth, as you know, when I think of the Ace of Swords, it's like cutting like a knife. As blunt as you had to be, you needed that courage. You need that courage. And if you feel, also intuitively, I'm feeling, if you feel like you still have some things to say or things aren't clear, this Ace of Swords popping up again in your current situation, and especially in the Ace of Swords in the recent, if you feel like, you know what, I didn't make myself clear, or, you know, if you like, I have to piggyback off of that and let me just say something else, go right ahead. If that makes you feel better and it makes you sleep at night, go right ahead. With the Knight of Pentacles, though, don't rush into it. Really think it through. But if you feel like there's some things that are left unsaid, go for it with that Ace of Swords coming up in the current energy as well. As far as the Hangman and the Three of Swords, Gemini, you have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so now it's time to make a choice. And I think the choice is, do you continue to sit with this energy, with this painful feeling, or do you just surrender? And that's what the Two of Pentacles is really telling you. You have to be able to balance. Yes, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, but it's almost like playing hot potato, and you have to be able to balance that. You know, you have to be able to say, okay, yeah, it does hurt, but this is where I'm headed. Yeah, this did hurt, but I have to surrender because I can't control it. That's what the Two of Pentacles is kind of sorry about that, it's projecting out right now in this spread. So let's go ahead and close this out with an Angels and Ancestors Oracle to give you some last, this one popped out, to give you some last guidance. Arrow, definitely. Gemini, at this time, Arrow tells you to surround yourself with protective energy. And right now I have a scratch in my throat chakra, communication. I think for some of you, you do have things that you still need to say. Again, go ahead, you have the green light, because I have like a tickle in my throat, and it's almost like it's not allowing me to speak, but I have to push through it. So if that's a message for someone, go right ahead. Arrow, If you're in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or to step out of the situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, Gemini, do so. In any event, this is time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. Okay, Gemini? Surround yourself with protective energy and allow yourself to be in a place that provides safety. Hangman, okay? That's what I have for you for July, Gemini. If any of these messages do resonate, if they don't resonate now and they do come into fruition later on, I would really appreciate you come back, you give me a like, you give me a comment, say, hey, Jen, that really, that came to fruition. Let me know how you handle that, whether it's, and again, the choice is yours. We all have free will. That's the beautiful thing of this life. You don't have to take the advice. You can look at it as a heads up. But if it does resonate, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.